You must be wondering what I have here. For the past 2 weeks, we've been digging trees up from the field using a great big bulldozer and a digger. So while digging up plants, I came across something very interesting. Our staff were going to throw this on the bonfire, and I just rescued it from the bonfire because they don't know what to do with it. But if you look carefully, this is a veritable gold mine, absolute gold mine. If I just take the weeds off, and I will explain to you what we have here. For someone who is not into bonsai, they must be thinking this is rubbish. But as you know, we can make bonsai from virtually anything. And this people would give their right arm for. In the bonsai community, there's a term called the turtle back. Nebari is not quite the word for it, but the turtle back is when the roots cover the surface like a mat. And it is usually found with trident maples and Japanese maples where they grow trees with a turtle back. I do have some trees with turtle back. When I've finished videoing this, I will take you to that maple and show you what a true turtle back looks like. But this reminds me exactly of a turtle back. But before I go any further, you must be wondering what species of tree this is. It's not yet into leaf. So, to put you out of your misery, this is the English field maple, or the botanical name is Acer campestri. And the Acer campestri, or the field maple, has 3-cornered leaves, very much like the trident maple. It's green for most of the year, and in the autumn it turns a beautiful golden yellow, and sometimes it can turn orange. So this is the main interest of the tree, and these are going to be the trunks. Now, how come it is growing like this, you must wonder. And what we have here underneath, this is the plastic membrane that we cover the nursery with. We cover the nursery with this membrane so that weeds don't come up. And by the same token, the roots don't go through it. So what happened was that I had planted a pot on top of the membrane, and the roots went through the pot, and then it had nowhere to go, so it straggled all over the place trying to find the soil. And this is what happened. And this, what you find here, was the tap root where I cut it off, cut the root off from the pot, and I took the pot and the tree probably became a bonsai. And then the base of the root became like this. All this growth, I shouldn't have cut this off, which was growing about 2 or 3 meters tall, are only 2 years old. You may not believe it, but it is exactly 2 years old. All this growth is 1 year. More than 1.5 meters is 1 year's growth. So the field maple is an extremely vigorous tree. So what I have in mind is to grow like a matted base, what we call the turtle back, and let small trees grow from the base. So all that growth has made the roots strong and made the tree strong. But for the bonsai design, I will follow this through. I will try not to sell this because, as you know, whenever people see the projects that I do on our YouTube videos, they always ask to buy it. And it's always tempting when someone is very persuasive to sell it to them. But I will definitely try not to sell this one to anybody because I want to show you the progress of this tree as it goes along. You wouldn't think that you can make bonsai by using these great big implements like this, but this is how I work. And these are the results I can get. As they say, we work on serious trees, very serious trees. So I've got to be careful. I don't cut so much that I end up with nothing. But then I know that this variety is so vigorous that despite cutting so hard, in 1 year I can virtually redesign this potential tree very easily. So that is as far as I've gone, and I will now bring my secateurs. Just keep filming. You can take some detail of that. The buds are so active that they are bursting, almost bursting, ready to come into leaf. So it won't be long before this tree will be covered in leaves. The English field maple is more vigorous than the Trident maple. So very nice species to work with. So we've got it down to here. And because I'm going to grow it for the next year or two, I might as well get rid of this plastic membrane. Look at it, sitting on the plastic membrane. And it just shows how effective this membrane is. The roots just can't go through the membrane. It's only where you get a puncture that the odd root will go through. So this membrane has done well. It's just the odd root that has gone through. Because I'm now going to pot it up. Oh, see, in some places the root has gone through. But by and large, the roots haven't gone through. There must have been a tiny hole to begin with for it to sneak through. We use this membrane a lot on the nursery to smother the weeds. And if you may remember some of the earlier videos I did of root cuttings, field maple is one of the species that grow very easily from root cuttings. This and crabapple are very good for root cuttings. I would emphasize that if this was a proper commercial nursery where they're mass producing bonsai, no one would ever waste time doing the things that I'm doing. I'm doing it because I like playing around with different projects, different ideas. But commercially, you wouldn't grow bonsai like this, so don't get the idea that this is how commercial bonsai are produced. This would be thrown away and put in the fire like my staff are going to do. It is virtually useless piece of material. But I like to show to my YouTube audience that there is no need to waste. Everything can be used. So let us use what we have. Mind you, when I started off my bonsai adventure, or my bonsai journey, it's always been done on a shoestring. So nothing was ever wasted. So I've come full circle. I don't need to do this for a living, but because it is fun, I'm doing it. And the fun of bonsai really is to make your own and to find challenges that are worth pursuing. So this is a real challenge. Not only is it physically challenging to get it out of this wretched plastic, but to follow the project through. Oh, God. So you must be wondering what we did with the things we dug up. The things that we dug up with the digger were planted into flower pots or planted back in the ground to grow on bigger or to have more compact root. And this was just an afterthought, really, something that we would have thrown away. And I rescued it from the rubbish dump. I'm nearly there. For those people who say that they like watching me do all this and nothing is boring, I really hope you mean it. Okay, so that is it. That's the piece of plastic got rid of. And here's the base of the tree. And the future of the tree is going to be that beautiful root base there with some little trees coming out from the side. And looking at it carefully, I could even make this the tree. I think there are too many things there. It's a bit confusing and conflicting, so I take very quick decisions. I think this ought to come off. I don't think we need that. I don't think we need this either. And this is a bit too tall. Let's get it shorter. And there you go. That's going to be the tree. And looking at it, it's already quite interesting. Look at that. Huh? And what am I going to pot it in? For now, I think I will pot it in a tray, one of these plastic trays, my carrying trays. Just fill it with soil, grow it for a year, and see what happens. Oh, I think it's almost made for it, isn't it? Except that this is too long. And if it is too long, let's cut it off, because that will become a root cutting, and I can get several plants out of that. There you are. Hey presto, that fits in there. I'll cut a little more off to get it to fit in there. There you go. I'll plant it like that and grow it on, and that will become several trees. I could get, let me just show you again to repeat what we do when we make root cuttings. I can get a plant from that, I can get plant from that. All these will make plants. Even this one I can get several trees from that. I could make a tall tree, or I could make several short trees. So that's how we do our root cutting, so that's not wasted. So those are our root cuttings. So that is going to be the future bonsai. And I will show you the progress during the year. I will plant it in the tray like that. And now I found something else while I was digging in the field. Another English field maple. Now you must be wondering, what the hell is this? And this one, you can see the flower pot is still there. And the roots came through the flower pot. You see how vigorous the tree is, and went into the ground. And of course, it is so interesting what I find here. So let's see what I can get out of this. These thick roots are no good for anyone except for me, and I will make root cuttings with that. So we'll get several trees out of this. So this is what we call trees for free. It's so tight it might even break my loppers. Oi! No! Another root cutting. And look at that powerful base. You'd give your right arm for that. Now this is conflicting. You see the way it's grown. It's fused together with the other trunk. The two trunks are fused together. So what can I use as the front? Now this side is very interesting. That part is interesting. But this side is also interesting. There may be too many trunks, but I'll let it grow for a while. Let's see what happens, because this may become a thick trunk, so I'm not going to waste that. I'll just grow it on to see how it develops. This is a bit too long. These are a bit too long also. Don't need those. It's so vigorous. See, from the root, they're growing new plants and new shoots from there. Oh, God. How many plants I can propagate from that? Got to be a bit careful. I don't want to waste it because there's potentially a plant there. I won't rush it, but just to show that that's a beautiful trunk there, stump, or I can use it like that to make the trunk. So look at that for the future of the tree. So there you are, nothing ever wasted. So another interesting projects. So I'm now going to show you that turtle back that I referred to. So we'll take you there. So let me show you the turtleback I was talking about. This is a maple which is just coming into leaf. And look at that root. See how similar it is to that field maple I showed. Broad Nebari here. So that's what we call a turtleback. Turtlebacks take very long to grow. This is one of our field-grown maples that I produce from the trees that I've been growing for 30 years in my field. And look at that base. I'm trying to create the Nebari there, the base, turtleback there. That will also become turtleback. This also is like good Nebari. Look at the root system there. So all these Nebaris take time to develop. I only need to walk within a space of 5 feet and you'll see more. That's another nice Nebari there. Turtleback there developing. Another one here developing. So this is how we develop all these turtlebacks. That's another one in the azalea. Look at the root base there. So that's the same principle. And now the piece de resistance is this one here. If you come close and have a look at this, this is a twin trunk, but it is a root connected. You see there's another tree growing from here, but it's from the same tree. That root has gone there and it's sprouted up into another tree. So it is connected there. So this is a turtleback here, and then merging and then going into another tree. So this is what you get from that turtleback that I showed you with the field maple. So I'm not as stupid as you think I am. These turtlebacks have a purpose, and that one day will become a nice tree with a beautiful base of turtleback with some small trees growing on top of it. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you can comprehend what I was trying to teach you using turtleback.